Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you about my birth story. I had a C-section and of course I have a special guest here today. His name is Aiden and he's almost 3 weeks old. I'm super excited to show you guys him. He is getting up from a nap right now, so we'll see how this goes. If he gets a little too antsy or a little, crazy, I'll probably have to stop recording and try again, but we'll see if we can get through this video. All right, so basically it all started almost 3 weeks ago. Like I said before, I had been feeling less movement in my stomach with him, and I was getting really worried. So Aiden was born on August 21st, 2019, and that was a Wednesday. So the Sunday, I told my husband, I woke up and I was like, hey, I'm not really feeling him move around and I'm really worried. He was like, okay, let me know if you want to go to the hospital. And I told him I would let him know. And from there, I ate breakfast, drank some sugary drinks like orange juice, and lay down on my side. And I felt a little bit of movement. So I was like, okay, I guess he's okay in there. Let's not go to the hospital, because technically I wasn't anywhere near my due date. And that happened. And then Monday morning, I had my non-stress test. And if you're high risk, you go and do that either once or twice a week. And then from there, I would figure out what to do, because the doctors would be there and they would let me know if I needed to do something or not. Let me get him really quick. Hold on one sec. Hi, baby. Hi. It's Mama. It's Mama. Hello, cutie pie. So Monday came and I did the non-stress test, and he didn't pass it, but he's never ever passed a non-stress test. Actually, it lies. I think he passed one non-stress test one time. And I said to my husband, I was like, I wonder what's going to happen. So we did our biophysical, which is the test they let you do if you don't pass a non-stress test. And normally Aiden used to pass within 1 or 2 minutes. He took like 15-20 minutes to pass. Mind you, the babies have up to 30 minutes to pass their biophysical, but that was unusual for our kid because he would normally just pass right away. And that didn't happen. So because he passed, they let me go home. My husband dropped me back home. He went to work, went about his business. I went about my business. I think I went home and I took a nap or something. Then the next day, which was Tuesday, I had my standing OBGYN appointment to see my OBG. So I went in, and with my husband, it was an early appointment, like 8 o'clock in the morning. And my OBG comes in the office and she's like, Zonya, you know what? Change of plans. And I was like, change of plans? Like, what, sis, what plans did we have? And she said to me that you have two options. It's either you're going to come in tonight for an induction, which was Tuesday night, the 20th, or you are going to schedule a C-section for the next day. So me and my husband, we're looking at each other like, excuse me, like, ma'am, today as in right now, like today, like tonight to come in for an induction? She's like, yeah, like, we're going to take the baby from you. You're 38 weeks. Like, we think that that's what we should do. And I was like, oh, okay. So, of course, she checks my cervix. I'm not dilated whatsoever. And mind you, my husband had bought me an exercise ball. I was bouncing on it that weekend. I went to the gym, walked a whole mile, nothing. Like, this kid was not moving down towards the birth canal at all whatsoever. So push comes to shove, and we're in the doctor's office, and we speak about what we should do. And I come to the conclusion that, like, hey, I think I'm going to go for the C-section, because my pregnancy has been really high risk, and for the fact that anytime I get, I don't know, sharp pains or I'm in any type of pain, my blood pressure goes sky high. And the doctor was saying that when that happens, it would put the baby under distress. And if I were to end up getting a regular induction, which would mean that I would go in that night, they would put a pill in my cervix to help it soften, and then they would wait 12 hours, which would mean that, let's say I went in for 8 p.m., I would be there until 8 a.m. until they could see if they could start me on Pitocin, which would make contractions come. And then from there, the contractions can cause so much pain that my blood pressure would go up, and then I might end up having a C-section anyway because of the reason where, to make sure that he's okay. And I said to my husband, let's just go in for the C-section because at this point, what do I have to lose? You don't get a prize for giving birth vaginally. You don't get a prize for a C-section. And at this point, the baby can't come out my foot. So it's either they're going to have to take him out or I'm going to have to push him out. So let's just do one out of two. And I chose to do a C-section. So that night, we ended up going to the movies because we had our little date night plan. Because like I said, I didn't know I was going to go to the doctor's office and she was going to tell me that in the first place. So we had our stand-in movie night date and we went to go see The Kitchen with Tiffany Haddish. And then after that, I came home and I took my shower and they told me, like, you can't eat after 12 because you're going to have surgery in the morning, which I didn't do. And went to sleep and I woke up the next day like around, I want to say like 5:36, and I was in the baby's room just walking around and saying, hey, like, today's your birthday. Today's your birthday. Yes, baby. And he was there. My stomach just jumping around, jumping around. I was like, he must know he coming out today. And I got ready. And from there, I ended up waking my husband up to make sure that he was good to go. He installed the car seat and everything. We got in the car and we went to the hospital to do my C-section. Rolled up in the hospital with all my little things that I needed, and we were ready to go. So they told me that I had to be there for 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was there for 8, and they checked me in at the front desk, and from there, the nurse took me over to the triage, and I met my labor and delivery nurse, which she was super duper sweet. Thank you so much, Ayana. You are the best, absolute best. Okay. And from there, we were in the room and I got undressed, put on my little robe and stuff. And they said that I needed to do some blood work because they need to make sure that, if anything happened, they knew my blood type and I could get a blood transfusion if I lost too much blood during surgery and all that jazz. So I did the blood work and they sent that down to the lab to get tested and everything. And they did whatever they had to do, and then a little after that, the anesthesiologist came in and told me, like, hey, we're going to do a spinal block on you, not epidural. And I said to him, okay. He explained to me what the difference was, and I said to him, sure, I'm down for whatever because I need this baby out of me. And maybe I want to say an hour or two after that, I walked to the operation room and bent over. Well, I wouldn't say bent over. I sat down on the operating table, and how they do it is that they literally have you on the operating table. You have to like hunch over like this, hold a pillow, and then hopefully there's somebody there to hold your hand. So it was my OBGYN. She held my hand and he put the needle in my back to do the spinal block. And when I tell you, if you guys have ever seen what that needle looks like, it's like 4 or 5 inches long, and they put it in your back and there's nothing you could do. It was absolutely crazy. Like, I yelled out, Jesus Christ, like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not getting pregnant again. Everyone in the operating room was laughing at me. They were like, everybody says that. You're going to do it again. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this again. And laid me back down on the table, and from there, they put up the screen between my belly and the people that were in the room to do the operation, and they told my husband he can come in, and he sat down with me, and they did the surgery. The surgery started at 11, and this little boy came out at 11:04. He didn't come out screaming or anything, so I was just like, oh my God, like, is he okay? And the doctor's like, no, he's fine. He's just looking around, but he's a super calm baby, so I completely understand why he didn't come out yelling and screaming. But he did scream. He did scream. So when they were like taking the stuff off of him and making sure he was wiped down and ready to come see mama, he did come over and he was looking at me and I was like, oh my God, can't believe I made you. So I'm super duper happy. Like I said before, he is 2 weeks. Wednesday he'll be 3 weeks, and that's mostly what happened with my C-section. I'm going to do another video regarding things that you should know about a C-section that they don't tell you. Bless the baby. Bless you. And let me know if you guys want any more content on birthing or anything that you would need help